A very good evening to everybody. Meeting after a gap of 3-4 days, and we'll be meeting in this new session. We're going to start the remedies from the third year syllabus now. These are the remedies there are some remedies which are organ remedies and some are very important, well-proved remedies. Both are there and both are very important from practice point of view. So it will be a feast for everyone to learn the remedies, even for the practitioners as well as for the students of homeopathy. So today I will going to start with the acetic acid from Allen's keynotes. Acetic acid is nothing but the cedar vinegar. It is glacial acetic acid. And this remedy I have used many times in my practice with very successful results. Few of them I will going to share with you. In fact, those were more practical in my practice, and that's why I have considered those should be shared with you. One patient who was admitted in our hospital by my wife for the hysterectomy, and she was operated for hysterectomy, and after hysterectomy, she was not coming out of anesthesia. She was in a so prostrated phase. Her prostration was not vanishing even 12 hours after the anesthesia. She was given spinal anesthesia, and thereafter she all of a sudden she became so prostrated she was not coming out. So they were trying their level best to give her IV fluids, etc., but nothing was working. It is the indication in case of acetic acid that it antidotes the anesthetic effects, and it is a wonderful remedy, specifically the prostrations which develops after the surgical shock, prostration which develops after the anesthesia, prostration which develops because of the injuries. This is a wonderful remedy for that. I have given just a few drops of acetic acid every 15 minutes in the mouth of the patient. And to my surprise, within span of half an hour, she opened the eye and she was showing as if nothing has happened. This is a wonderful effect which I have seen after giving the acetic acid 30 potency, just of 2 or 3 doses every 15 minutes. So this is the action, practical application of the materia medica which we used to learn in our Allen's keynotes. This is the effect one must not forget, because it antidotes the effects of anesthesia, that is the anesthetic vapors. This is very specific symptom which is mentioned by Allen, as well as it is prostration which develops after the anesthesia. This is a wonderful remedy. Second important thing in which I have utilized this remedy was the case of CA stomach, cancer of stomach. Patient used to have vomiting with a severe ascites was there, and this is with a tremendous debility. Few things which were characteristic. One thing, that patient, even though having cancer of stomach, patient was very much thirsty. Second important, patient was absolutely anemic. Third important indication, that patient's face was absolutely oily, greasy. That was third important thing. Fourth important thing was absolute emaciation with a ascites over there, a tremendous ascites. And fifth indication, which was there, that even though patient was having pain in abdomen with ascites, patient still feels better by lying on abdomen. So I have considered to give the acetic acid. And this time I have utilized acetic acid in LM scale in repeated doses continuously for 1 month. After giving acetic acid LM1, after 1 month when patient came to me, in fact, I could not recognize the patient. There was tremendous change. The ascites was vanished. Second important thing, patient was looking quite good, little bit put on weight. Appetite improved. And I have continued acetic acid up to LM10 for 10 months consecutively. Every month I have increased the potency, LM1, LM2, LM3, LM4. up to LM10, and patient was improving day by day, day by day. It was wonderful effect which I have seen, and modality was very specific. Patient was feeling pain in abdomen, feeling better by lying on abdomen. Lying on belly ameliorates specifically in backache and specifically in abdominal pain. This is a wonderful remedy. For tuberculosis, this remedy covers two miasms, tubercular miasm and cancer miasm, both miasm. So it is a psychosyphilitic remedy, and it is a wonderful remedy to cover the pathology, where you have to catch especially the face of the patient, the waxy face, the pale face, the anemic patient, tremendously anemic patient. These are things which you have to catch from the patient. So this is a very good remedy, acetic acid, in such types of pathological cases. Even it is a very good remedy in tuberculosis also. Tubercular cases where last stages of tuberculosis with hemoptysis, tremendous blood from the cuff which comes out with a tremendous prostration, with pale waxy skin. This remedy again do a wonder in such types of cases. So it is always better to utilize LM in pathological cases instead of using the low potency 6 or 30, because Boric has mentioned that this remedy should not be repeated too often. Only in cases of Croup, he says it bears the repetition, otherwise one should not repeat it. That's what the Boric has said. But LM scale, when I am using this remedy whenever I used to get a chance, I used to generally use in pathological cases in LM scale, and in LM scale acetic acid works better. So this is one more case which I have shared. And third important case, it was child who was absolutely weakened, marasmic, and child was having very severe backache, very severe backache. It is uncommon thing. Backache in children is an uncommon thing, but this child was having a severe backache. It was thoracolumbar backache. He went to the orthopedicians and many others, and they were considering it might be a tuberculosis of the spine, but investigations found to be normal. But backache was not getting settled, and he was explaining only this modality. He feels he cannot lie on back. Whenever he used to lie on back, his backache was increasing tremendously. So, and that's why whenever he used to sleep, he either sleeps on sides or more on the abdomen, and he was feeling comfortable whenever lying on abdomen, his backache was getting better. So, a marasmic child, pale child, anemic child, losing flesh while eating well, all those things, characteristics which were there, associated with severe backache without having any specific defined pathology. So I have considered again to give the acetic acid, but in this case, I have not utilized the LM. Here I have utilized the 30. And nearly about 2-3 days, I have repeated, and thereafter I have kept the child on placebo. Not only placebo, along with the calcarea for 6 later. But this patient has tremendous recovery within first 15 days. Basically, his backache settled after giving acetic acid. So this is a wonderful effect of acetic acid on backache. Specifically, I have used in children who was prostrated and emaciated. Like this remedy has emaciation very close to the abrotanum, very close to the iodum, very close to the netramure, very close to the sanicula. So where you get this losing flesh while eating well, all those features which you used to find it out. This is one more remedy, but here generally the pathologies are more marked in acetic acid. Rest of the remedies, it is a problem of assimilation. Here it is basically problem of a pathology, which is the reason because of which the person suffer. So these are three cases which I have selected to discuss with you. Let us learn this remedy from Allen's keynotes. Open the Allen's keynotes. Glacial acetic acid, C4H3O3, adapted to pale, lean persons with lax, flabby muscles. See, this first line indicates everything. This child is, the person is pale. Anemia is very marked in acetic acid. It is a very important remedy in anemia. The paleness comes because of that. Lean persons, they are emaciated, weak persons with lax muscles, flabby muscles. Muscles are lax, doesn't have strength. Face is pale and waxy. See, face is pale and waxy. Waxy means absolutely greasy. It is pale like a ferrum metallicum. So there is, he has mentioned ferrum in the bracket because ferrum is also having similar type of appearance. Hemorrhage. Hemorrhage from the every mucous outlet. So hemorrhagic diathesis in specifically in acetic acid, it is every mucous outlet, nose, throat, lungs, stomach, bowels, uterus, like perum, mellifolium. So there are many remedies which you can get such types of hemorrhage. But here, generally, some pathology is always lying behind. Hemorrhage, metrorrhagia. Metrorrhagia is nothing but the intermittent menses. Hemorrhage, vicarious. Vicarious means instead of that. So instead of menses, the outlet comes from any source. It might be from nose, it might be from mouth, it might be from rectum, it might be from anywhere. Vicarious, word vicarious means instead of that. Hemorrhage, traumatic epistaxis. Arnica is one mentioned over there. Yes, traumatic epistaxis. You get the trauma over the nose and epistaxis, which is not getting settled. First remedy always, always, always is arnica. If it is not settled with arnica, then think about the acetic acid. First remedy is always arnica. Marasmus. Marasmus and other wasting diseases of the children. See the remedies mentioned over here. It is abrotenum, it is iodum, it is sanicula, it is tuberculinum, it is nectamure. All those remedies are there. Every marasmus is different. We have to catch what that marasmus is. Here, basically, in case of abrotenum, it is because of disturbed assimilation. So that is the reason. In iodum, it is BMR is very high, hyperthyroidism. Sanicula, again, the two things combined together, but basically it is generally assimilation, which you get, or diarrhea, which is marked over there. Tuberculum, miasmatic focus. Marasmus is miasmatic. It is constitutional in tuberculinum. And that's why in tuberculinum we have losing flesh while eating well. Tuberculinum, tall, slender, weak, emaciated personality. Great prostration after injuries, sulfuric acid. Yes, this is one more remedy after injuries if the prostration persists. After the surgical shock, great prostration after surgical shock, great prostration after anesthetics. See, this you should not miss because this is given in italics. It has a meaning. One should not forget these italics. These are very, very, very important in your practice. Thirst. How is the thirst? Thirst as characteristic thing. Here, patient is thirsty all the time for cold water, but during fever, there is no thirst, and it has been given by in the bold by him. Belladonna is also a remedy. During fever, the thirst is lost, no thirst. So here, in intense thirst, burning, insatiable, even for large quantities in dropsy, in diabetes, in chronic diarrhea. So with every pathology, the thirst is present, but no thirst in fever. Whenever fever comes, the thirst is lost. This is close to the belladonna, but belladonna is very acute. Acetic acid is very deep acting. Belladonna, it is acute inflammatory fever. Here, it is not acute inflammatory fever. Here, some pathological fever. It might be some pathology. It might be because of secondary bacterial infection as due to the ascites, due to the tuberculosis, or any other thing. Sour belching and vomiting of pregnancy. It is a very good remedy for again for the pregnancy, nausea and vomiting. Burning water breath and profuse salivation day and night. So very important remedy for nausea and vomiting, especially during the this pregnancy, morning sickness. I have told you last time one more remedy. Natrum frost is also good remedy, and Symphoricus racemosa. One should not forget this remedy to be utilized in morning sickness. He has compared it with lactic acid. Salivation aggravated at night is Merksol, and that is the characteristic. In fact, dribbling saliva during sleep is the characteristic of Merksol. Merc is also having the similar type of faces. But Merc is having besoted appearance, but face is also waxy in case of Merc. See the diarrhea. Diarrhea is copious, exhausting. It is exhausting the person. Diarrhea with great thirst. There is tremendous thirst. Diarrhea in dropsy, typhus, thesis with night sweats. See, diarrhea is there during all types of disorders. It is during dropsy, diarrhea during typhus. Typhus is a big terminology. Typhoid is one part of it. Typhus is a big entity. It is not only the typhoid fever. Typhus fever means it is a constitution which develops because along with the typhoid, there are many constitutional features with tremendous weakness, prostration, persistent fever, all those things. So if you open the dictionary, you get the detailed meaning in medical dictionary regarding the word typhus. Thesis is tuberculosis. Diarrhea with night sweats. Night sweats is itself suggests that tuberculosis. Night self indicates the tubercular miasm. Acetic acid is a wonderful remedy for tuberculosis also. Even in active stages of tuberculosis, this remedy one can use in last stages. True croup. Croup is pharyngeal secretion, pharyngeal affections, hissing respiration. You get that typical sound while patient is inhaling. Cough with inhalation, that is very characteristic. Cough with inhalation is spongia. Cough with inhalation is the acetic acid. Cough on expiration is aconite you can get. Cough or breathlessness on expiration is mephitis. That is another remedy which you can think. True cough last stages. So this is very important remedy in pharyngitis. Inhalation of vapor of cider vinegar has successfully used in croup and malignant diphtheria. So malignant diphtheria is spreading diphtheria, toxic diphtheria, and this is good remedy. Cannot sleep lying on back. See the modality underline this. This is very important from the acetic acid modality. Cannot sleep lying on back. Sleeps better on back is arsenic. Sensation of sinking in abdomen causing dyspnea. So there is sinking sensation inside the abdomen causing dyspnea. So there is breathlessness and rest better lying on belly like ammonium carbonate. But here backache is better by lying on abdomen. Pain in stomach better by lying on abdomen. These are very specific symptoms of acetic acid. Hectic fever. Hectic fever means exhausting, which causes more prostration, which causes more exhaustion. Hectic fever. Skin is dry and hot. Red spot. There is printing mistake. RIA. It has been in B. Jain's publication. It is RIA. It is not RIA spots. It is red spots on left cheek and drenching night sweats. Red spots means these are the manifestations of generally in autoimmune skin disorders, specifically in psoriasis. Red spots appears. So psoriasis, if you take into consideration, the tubercular miasm, which is there with acetic acid, and that's why it is one of the remedy which you can think if the rest of the features matches in case of psoriasis. So autoimmune disorders where such types of red spots appears on the face, generally in case of psoriasis. So that is red spots on cheek, left cheek, and drenching night sweats. So tremendous sweating at night, indication of tubercular miasm, tuberculosis. Now the relationship. It antidotes anesthetic vapors like amyl nitrate. Amyl nitrate is one more remedy which antidotes the effects of anesthesia. Fumes of charcoal and gas. Opium and stramonium. Relationship, compare opium and stramonium. Those are two remedies which he has mentioned over there, and it antidotes the opium and stramonium. Cedar vinegar antidotes carbolic acid, given in bold, and this is confirmed many times by many people. Follows well after cinchona in hemorrhage. So whenever hemorrhagic tendency is there, if cinchona never works, think of acetic acid. Follows well after digitalis in dropsy. But think, see, In digitalis, the pulse is absolutely weak. It is thready pulse. Digitalis is the picture of congestive cardiac failure or cardiac failure, where pulse is absolutely feeble. Along with in digitalis also you get the dropsy, but that is secondary. That dropsy is because of the um, chronic passive venous congestion, CPVC, and that's why it happens to be there in case of digitalis. Here it is not like that. Here the dropsy is specifically because of generally abdominal pathologies, either tuberculosis, either a cancer. So variation is there in action. You have to think about what you are prescribing, and accordingly you can use. And last symptom which he has mentioned, it aggravates the symptoms of arnica, belladonna, lachesis, Merck. What it means? It means that patient is having certain features of arnica, and by mistake you have utilized acetic acid, because arnica and acetic acid comes closer. Where it comes closer? Where prostration is after injuries, arnica is the remedy. And if you, instead of if it is arnica case, if you have utilized after arnica the acetic acid, the symptoms might get aggravated. Like that, belladonna, it is a remedy. It aggravates the symptoms of belladonna. Then belladonna, in the sense, belladonna is generally happens to be there in acute fever. That's what I have told. In acute inflammatory fever, where there is no thirst during fever. And by chance, if you have utilized the acetic acid, it might aggravate the symptoms of those. Lachesis, very depicting remedy. Merck salt, again depicting syphilitic remedy. And if those remedies are already used, it might aggravate the symptoms. And lastly, especially the headache from belladonna. So if it is a belladonna headache, if you were to give acetic acid, it aggravates the complaints of belladonna. So this is last sentence is a caution. Caution, when if you are using the acetic acid after this remedy, you should be cautious regarding all those things. Such types of hints one should not forget. These are in fact most useful hints in the practice, and one should not miss. So today we have learned first remedy from third year syllabus, that is acetic acid, and it is a very important remedy from practice point of view as well as from exam point of view. My suggestion to all of you is to go through the Borix Mata Remedica, just go through all the things. You can get many more things regarding it, and dose which he has mentioned over there is very important. He said that you, in low potency you must use, and should not be repeated except in cases of crow which bears repetition. That's what Boric has said. And my suggestion to all of you, if you are using acetic acid in pathology, always use it in LM scale instead of the centesimal. So that's all regarding the acetic acid. So thank you being there. If you have any queries regarding the acetic acid, we can discuss over here. Otherwise, we'll conclude. So no queries. So thank you being there. Tomorrow we'll start with next remedy alphabetically from third year syllabus. So whatever it may be, we're going to discuss it tomorrow. Thanks a lot and good night. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night.